Hello dear students, welcome back to the third session of one of the important grammar topics, that is linkers. In the previous session we discussed linkers related to addition and linkers related to contrast. We have seen how the alternatives to the conjunction and express addition. Similarly, we have also seen how the alternatives to the conjunction but express contrast. Well, in this session, we will discuss about the remaining linkers and we will see what functions do they carry. Now, after contrast linkers, next we have linkers related to consequence. As I already told you in my previous session, consequence is nothing but the result of something. The word so is the most commonly used linker to use or to express consequence. Let us see one sentence example to understand how the word or how the conjunction so shows the result or the consequence. Let us see an example. My leg was still paining, so I went to see the doctor. So here in this sentence, the linker so is not only expressing two different ideas, they are my leg was still paining, I went to see the doctor. Here in this sentence, the word so is not only expressing two different ideas, but it also shows the result. So, I went to see the doctor is the consequence and my leg was still paining is the cause. Now here the consequence or the result shows why did she go to the doctor? So, answer is her leg was still paining. Again the word so is fairly informal. But for academic writing you need to choose alternatives to the word so to make your sentences more academic, more varied and more sophisticated. Another common alternative to the word so is the phrase as a result. As a result. Now let us see one sentence example. There was inadequate preparation. There was inadequate preparation for the cyclone. As a result, the storm caused a great deal of damage. Now the sentence is there was inadequate preparation for the cyclone, full stop. As a result, the storm caused a great deal of damage. So here you can see the phrase as a result shows the consequence or the result. So the disaster caused by the storm is the result of not having proper or adequate preparation for the cyclone. Now there are other alternatives to express consequence such as therefore, thus, consequently, etc. Now let us see few sentence example to understand this. John studied hard for the exam. Therefore, he got distinction. So here you can see the conjunction therefore shows the result of John's hard work. Here you should notice that the conjunction therefore introduces a statement. What is the statement? He got distinction marks resulting from or caused by what immediately precedes by the word therefore. So here when we talk about precedes the idea, we are not talking about any word or any phrases, but we are talking about what idea precedes the word therefore. So what idea is placed before the word therefore here? John studied hard for the exam. So this is the idea. So here we have to consider the idea John studied hard for the exam placed before the word therefore. So therefore he got distinction. As a result of John's hard work, he got distinction. So here therefore expresses the result of John's hard work. So here, as I already told you, therefore introduces a statement resulting from or caused by what immediately precedes the word therefore. What is placed before the word therefore here? The idea John studied hard for the exam. Similarly, in the next sentence, California is a coastal state, so it has many beaches. So here the conjunction introduces a statement. So what is the statement here? It has many beaches resulting from or caused by what is preceded or what is placed before the word. So what is the idea is placed before the word here? California is a coastal state. So the word so shows the result of California is a coastal state. So what is the result? It has many beaches. Notice that in all these examples, linkers related to consequence start a new sentence followed by a comma. Okay, let us move on to the next. Another group of words expresses reasons. The word because is the most commonly used linking word to express reason. But for academic writing, you need to choose alternatives to the word because to make your sentence more varied and more sophisticated. Now there are alternatives to the word because such as since, as, etc. Now let us see one sentence example to understand how linkers like because, since, as express reason. We continued with the research because or since or as we had found interesting results. So the sentence is we continued with the research because or since or as we had found interesting results. Now there are other alternatives to the word because such as phrases like because of, due to, an account of, etc. Because of, due to, an account of. These mean the same as the word because, but they usually followed by a noun, not a clause. Let us see one sentence example. We will take the same example. We continued with the research because of, or an account of the interesting results. We continued with the research because of or an account of the interesting results. So here both these phrases, because of or an account of, show the result. Now if you want to use any one of these phrases to show the reason, you have to skip the phrase we had found. So instead of that, what we say, we continued with the research because of or an account of the interesting results. Now let us move on to the next. We have linkers to express cause and effect. Cause and effect. Now let us understand the difference between cause and effect. The cause is why something happened, and the effect is what happened. The cause is why something happened and the effect is what happened. As I already told you, there are linkers to express cause and effect such as because, since, as, therefore, so, hence, etc. Now let us see a few sentence examples to understand how these conjunctions show cause and effect. I stayed at home because it was raining. I stayed at home because it was raining. Here the conjunction is because, since he had not paid the rent, he was told to vacate the room. So here the conjunction is since. Since he had not paid the rent, comma, he was told to vacate the room. Here the linker is since. Similarly, in the next sentence, as it is raining again, we will have to stay at home. So look at the sentence. As it is raining again, we will have to stay at home. So here the linker is as. Notice that in all these sentences, the linkers expresses the cause, not the effect. Because when we use linkers related to cause, it should be followed by the idea that express the cause, not the effect. So remember, if you use the linker related to cause, it should be followed by the idea that express the cause, not the effect. So here the linker because is followed by the idea it was raining, which express cause, not the effect. The effect is this: I stayed at home. Similarly, in the second sentence, since he had not paid the rent, he was told to vacate the room. So here, remember, here we are talking about the cause. So here the linker since expresses the cause, not the effect. Why it is? Because the linker since is followed by the idea that expresses the cause. He had not paid the rent. After the comma, you have the effect, that is, he was told to vacate the room. This is the effect. Similarly, in the next sentence, as it is raining again, we will have to stay at home. So again, the linker as is followed by the idea which expresses the cause, not the effect. So effect comes after the comma, we will have to stay at home. So this is the effect. So this is the cause. Now let us see sentence related to effect. Now here you can see linkers related to effect. So here you can see linkers like so, therefore are used to express the effect. In the first sentence, it was raining, so I stayed at home. So this is opposite to this sentence, I stayed at home because it was raining. Whereas here, it was raining, so I stayed at home. So whenever you use the linker related to affect, it should be followed by the idea that expresses the affect, not the cause. So here, so is followed by the idea I stayed at home, which expresses the affect, not the cause. So the cause is this, it was raining. Similarly, in the next sentence, it was raining. So instead of so, you can also use therefore I stayed at home. But here you should use the semicolon after the cause. So followed by therefore, comma, I stayed at home. So here the word therefore shows the effect, that is, I stayed at home. Similarly, in the next sentence, the poor parents could not look after the boy. Therefore, so therefore here again expresses the idea which shows the effect, not the cause. Therefore, they sent him to an orphanage. They sent him to an orphanage is the effect. The cause is the poor parents could not look after the boy. So here the word therefore expresses the effect because it is followed by the idea which expresses the effect, they sent him to an orphanage. Remember, the results are always the outcome of the cause. Now let us move on to the next. There are linkers to express time. We also call them time connectors. Words like after, before, while, during, when, etc. show the time. They show the time of action. They show when the action took place or when the action takes place. Let us see few sentence examples. After Peter had graduated, he became. So here you can see the linker after shows the time. So when did he become a doctor? After his graduation. So here the linker after shows the time, when did he become a doctor. Similarly, in the next sentence, before our team played the match, they had trained hard. So again, in this sentence, the linker before shows the time. Similarly, in the next sentence, while Maya was watching the film, she fell asleep. So here in this sentence, the linker while shows the time. So here in this sentence, the linker while shows the time. When did she fall asleep? She fell asleep when she was watching the film. So here while shows the time. When did she fall asleep? We can also say it in another way. During the film, Maya fell asleep. So this is another way of saying while Maya was watching the film, she fell asleep. That is, during the film or during the journey, Maya fell asleep. Again, you can ask, when did she fall asleep? She fell asleep during the film, when she was watching the film. So here the linker is during, which shows the time again. Similarly, in the next sentence, I heard the loud noise when I received the phone. So here the linker when shows the time. When did I hear the loud noise? When I received the phone. So here when shows the time. When did I hear the loud noise? Now there are linkers to express comparison. There are linkers to make comparison between two ideas, between two or more ideas, such as words like similarly, likewise, on the other hand, but. Sometimes we want to compare two things that are different, and sometimes we want to compare two things that are similar, that expresses similar ideas. Now, words like similarly, likewise make comparison between ideas that are similar. But here, phrases like on the other hand and words like but make comparison between two ideas that are contrast. Now let me write two sentences on the board. I always go to bed early. My sister goes to bed very late. Here you can see these two sentences show two different ideas, two contrast ideas. One is going to bed early and another one is going to bed very late. So these two sentences can stand alone, but we can make comparison between these two ideas by using linkers such as on the other hand or but. Now let us see one sentence example. I always go to bed early, comma, whereas my sister goes to bed very late. So here you can see the phrase whereas makes comparison between these two contrast ideas. So here it compares the second idea with the first idea, that is I always go to bed early. Similarly, we can use the phrase to make comparison between these two contrast ideas. For example, I always go to bed early, full stop. My sister, comma, on the other hand, goes to bed very late. So here you can see the linker, the phrase on the other hand makes comparison between these two contrast ideas. Okay, dear students, I will conclude my session here. In the next video, we will discuss about the remaining linkers and we will see what functions do they carry. And at the end, we will see how to use linkers or how to use transitions in a paragraph, and we will discuss how the ideas are linked between sentences in a paragraph. And we will also discuss the question pattern of this topic, how it will appear in your examination. So let me stop my session here. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.